Hi guys, we're Two Mamas No Manual, back at it with another episode. I'm Leah,
And I'm Dani.
and today we have a very special guest in honor of Veterans Day, which was on November 11th. We have Sergeant Wayne Whiteside III. He was in the Army, he was an EOD guy, Sergeant, big deal. So, can't wait to dive in, ask him a bunch of questions
It's
about.
Leah's husband.
I didn't want to give that out. I didn't want anybody to know
Spoiler alert.
What?
that. Everybody already knows that was a joke, obviously.
Okay. I was about to say, what? Did I just blow open the whole thing?
No, but this was actually the first time that I posted pictures of him for Veterans Day.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's
I'm sure
pretty
that
cool.
a few people were probably shocked to see because I don't wear it. I don't boast about it.
Yeah, you don't
know.
advertise.
So the people that know me a while know the background, but
You don't wear the hat that says I served, thank me.
no,
No.
no.
Okay.
The most is the disabled veteran license plate. That's
Oh.
about it.
You couldn't get around that.
No,
You're
I
like
was like I like that one.
okay. You got perks.
I
Yeah.
also like that
Yes.
one.
I
Not gonna
too
lie.
utilize
I do.
Did it half for you, so it's
Thanks, babe. I
okay.
appreciate that.
But on the days when it's hard to walk, it
Yeah.
is gold.
Yeah, definitely.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's good marketing.
Yeah.
Gotta take what you can get from that.
100%.
That's right.
So tell us a little bit about your journey and how old you were when you started, if you don't mind. And
Well, I enlisted in the Army in 2019, August of 2019. I was 19. I turned 20 in basic training. Then I went to Fort Lee, Virginia, for my phase 1 of EOD training. And then I think it was around Christmas or January that I went out to Florida, Eglin Air Force Base for phase 2 of EOD school. I graduated that in, I want to say September. And then I went up to Alaska, Fort Wainwright, 65th EOD. And I was stationed there for, it was about 5 years. I think it was 5 years.
in Alaska.
In Alaska.
That's crazy.
Yep, Fort Wainwright, Alaska, Fairbanks.
Was that the first time you lived out of PA?
Uh,
Other
leaving
than staying in Florida for
Yeah.
training?
the journey, yeah, started there. That
Okay.
was, I had been out of state once or twice for a school trip, before joining basic training or going to basic, but it was pretty much from there. I just bounced around.
So that's an adjustment in itself, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it was a lot. It was but it was easy for me because it was like a switch flipped. As soon as I got on the plane to go, and then got to basic training, it was like reception area. And that first day, you wake up in a bunk, and you're like, "Yep, this is my life." And you don't have any other contact any other way, so I don't have to listen to anybody else. So I'm just like, I need to get through today. I'm gonna make it, and I'm gonna not get in trouble. And I'm gonna eat, and I'm gonna do my shit. So it was easy. It was a game. Basic training was a game because someone like me, I had the mentality that I'm there for the right reason. I want, I wouldn't question fighting for freedom, kind of thing. I would give my life for it, and so it was easy there. I knew that I was in the right place, and basic training is a place that weed out the wrong people. They try to.
When did you decide EOD?
That was a surprise all in itself. When I
What is EOD for those who don't know?
EOD stands for Explosive Ordnance Disposal.
Bomb tech.
Yeah, the bomb techs of the Army. It's not just IEDs and all the terror game as well. It's also say if your grandfather passes and he was a Vietnam vet and you're going through his stuff in the attic and you find a friggin' hand grenade, what are you gonna do? Like a frag grenade, and when you call the police or something like that, they call the closest ordnance disposal. And that's where the job also entails identifying ordnance, identifying what if it's in an armed position or if it's an unarmed or if it's dudded, or some of them you can't even move. Like if it landed and it's like if you bump it, it could go off and then you're done. So you had to learn all that stuff, and that was phase 2 in Florida, where it was they call it drinking from a fire hose, where it was like a semester of college in a week. You had 2 tests a week, and you had to maintain an 85 or above of every grade.
Which
And
is
yeah,
insane, but you think they do that because you're under a lot of pressure, like
oh yeah.
during the actual act of doing disposal. Like,
The first course is demo, where you're putting live blasting caps onto det cord and crimping it with metal, crimpers. And the instructor, like, they mess with you. They'll get up their ear up to the thing to hear if there's an audible clink when you crimp it. Because if there is, that's a 16-point hit and you fail.
oh
And
man.
if you fail twice, then you could go needs the army. You could be a janitor. You could do, or you could plead your case and say, I really want to be here and stay.
You never failed.
No, I failed a total of 4 tests, but I always passed the retest.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was 3 tests. I tapped through ground. They call it tapping when you fail a test. There was 3 sections. I failed my initial test each time, and they started thinking that I was doing it on purpose. Because there was a retest grader, Peterson. He actually pinned my EOD badge on me at graduation. They called him the Darth Grader. He failed everybody, and I messed with this dude so hard. Like I joke around with him all the time, but I don't know. I just managed to. I choked up the first test, and I always managed to pass when it was him, like on top of me. Um, and then my IED practical, like pretty much everybody has a hard time passing that
Oh, I'm
first
sure.
go.
If I would be like, boom, 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 boom,
Yeah,
boom,
the
boom, boom.
IED practice, especially because it's my test was in I want to say it was like heat of the summer. It was bad, and so you're in a bomb suit. You got like red flag conditions, but they don't care. They're like, just fucking do it.
Yeah.
And then you have Seaburn right after that, where it's chemical, and then you're in full mop suit, and they duct taping all your sealing the whole thing, and you're standing out there trying to read you're like pretend reading this fake identifier to see if there's any chemical agents in the air. The
I
instructors,
can't imagine.
it's comical.
Yeah.
But it's a 50% attrition rate at Fort Lee, and then 50% attrition rate at Eglin Air Force Base. So
Which is what does that mean for?
half the people that are in the class fail out.
Okay.
So only half the people that go or that enlist in it, they fail out in Virginia, and then half of those people that go to Eglin end up failing out again.
Oh wow.
So I stayed in my original class though, made it the whole way.
That's awesome.
I did know a guy that did not fail a single class. It was awesome, and he would always get so nervous before every class. He was a couple classes behind me, but he would get so nervous before every test, and I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up! You've aced every fucking test.
Yeah.
And even the guys that like came at him trying to make him fail, like, nope, he did it.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
impressive.
That's crazy
Yeah.
that he would be nervous for tests that he would nail. Like, how does someone who's like nervous decide to go into like the
Bomb
bombs?
disposal,
Like,
Right? Well, at the time when I was going in, there was a big boom and a big need for them. So it was like they were throwing out these like when I went to the recruiter's office, they only gave me 2 options, and the one was EOD, and it was they said like, oh, if you do a 4-year enlistment, you can have $6,000 bonus. If you do a 6-year enlistment, you get a $20,000 bonus. There was a bunch of contingencies, you had to pass training, this and that, and but a lot of people did it just for that, and then ended up failing out. None of us really like had any idea what it really was. Like you see when you're like in Virginia or something, you hear people say, "Oh, it's the Hurt Locker." And you're
I
like,
was just
"Oh,
gonna
okay."
say, what movie do you think best describes, like, so people can get a visual of like what you guys were like?
Unfortunately, yes, the Hurt Locker is the best description or descriptive movie that displays the job.
Yeah.
It is very dramatized for the stuff, but it's like that. It's you're rolling up onto a scene. You have no idea what you're gonna get into, and then you just gotta figure it out. There's no playbook. Most of the time you gotta take the path of most resistance, and you gotta watch everything. You gotta again, and 9 times out of 10 somebody's watching you. So if you set patterns, then they're waiting for you the next time. It's a very hard job. It's a very hard job because these people are trying to set traps to kill us or our troops, and we're the guys that go out and stop it. So.
Yeah. I feel like it's a lot of patience too.
Oh yes, a lot of patience, and
Yeah.
you gotta have a lot of confidence too, because like there was a lot of times where I was a lower enlisted guy, and I had to tell much higher ranked people what to do,
Yeah.
and confidently and make them do it. You
Mm.
know.
Well, coming out of the military and coming back into civilian life, like, would have you ever guessed that you'd be on a podcast talking about all this?
Oh yeah, would I ever guess that I was gonna be famous? Of course. Okay. I was like, by the time I'm gonna be 30, I'm gonna be pretty. I'm gonna be tattooed. Um,
You were diffusing bombs and being like, yeah, so I'm gonna be famous and pretty because of this.
Yep.
you would,
Look how far you've come.
the EOD field is filled with prima donnas. That's everybody will tell you that. In the
Um,
school, it was notorious. Obviously, on the military side of things, you think the first thing you think of with military is all the high and tight haircut, right? Well, the nice part about being EOD is that if you're actually an EOD, if you're if you're active EOD like a team, at any given moment there could be a need that you have to integrate into society seamlessly. You can
mhm.
work with outside agencies, Secret Service, FBI, anybody. So therefore, anybody comes up to you and says, "Oh, your hair is too long; it's out of regs." Like, well, actually, it matches the regs because it doesn't touch my ears. It's got a faded appearance. It doesn't touch the back of my neck, um, and it's like the catch clause is that it doesn't have to. It can't have like a faddish appearance where it's like up to commander's discretion if it looks
What
neat and
what
kept.
Yeah.
style were you
Yeah.
rocking? Was it like
Oh
this?
no, it was a comb over because it allowed me to keep it as long as I could.
Yeah.
So I always had like the front comb over, and you always had to wear a hat whenever you went outside, so it had to be like
But shaved
solid.
face.
Yeah, shaved
Yeah.
face, but always the sides. But so then the joke on the instructor side of things, the Navy guys would have their hair so long it would like go from the front to the back, and they had hair gel in their hand soap dispensers, like the
Oh
sanitizers,
Uh-huh.
my.
so that way they could quick like fix it if the brass showed up.
Oh,
That's
But
funny.
yeah.
prima donna.
I mean, at one point my hair was down to my
Tip of your
nose.
nose.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that is crazy
Yep.
for like regulations that you were
You
able to
saw
do
you
that.
saw my pictures on deployment and stuff where my hair is just like
Yep. Yeah.
yeah.
So it's November, it's Movember, which is men's mental health and suicide prevention, which there's tons of men, not even in the military, that go through different types of mental health things, and
Everybody.
everybody,
Yeah.
yeah. But I feel like there's a stigma against men. They are not allowed to express their emotions like women are, and I'm hoping that we're moving away from that as a society because everybody goes through depression. Everybody suffers from different stages of mental health issues. I feel like the military definitely puts you through the ringer on the mental health aspect. Do you think that you noticed a shift in your mental health while you were actively in the military, or do you think that you didn't realize it until afterwards? Because I know that you like did some therapy to help yourself after you got out and were acclimating to civilian life. So do you think that you noticed prior to this, or you didn't notice until you started therapy that there was like a huge shift in your mental health?
Yeah, after deployment I knew it, but like I had that pride of like, it's not that bad. I can do this. And I also had that hero mentality where or I have a hero complex where I thought like this is what's gonna claim my life. Like I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do it right enough that I'm gonna save somebody's life and sacrifice my own for it. So I don't really care. Like as long as I can hold my shit together, we're good. But then it's little things here and there they start slipping. But the big thing for us was in our unit. We had one guy who was such a heavy drinker after deployment and before deployment. Really, he was a heavy drinker, and we had an incident one day where him and his wife got into an altercation where um he smashed a lamp overhead or something like that. I'm not saying any names, so it doesn't really matter, right? But so
I
long
can
story.
see as he's saying, he's like, wait, should I be saying this?
I'm thinking of this dude sitting there listening to this podcast.
Yeah, he listens to Two Mamas No Animal.
Big fan.
Maybe. Big fan. Weeks before this, all right, the guy we're all in the morning. Everybody's like hungover, we're tired, whatever, and he's like, dude, I got so drunk, and apparently I ordered like 2 boxes of chicks to my house. So now I have fucking 40 little baby chickens running around my fucking house. I don't know what to do.
I didn't know what you meant by a
Right?
box of
We
chicks
didn't
at
either.
first. So
And
I was
we're all
like,
just like, what? We're all dying fucking laughing because we're like, this is next level. Like this dude. But then
that was the most harmless thing that
Baby
I
chicks.
like, but imagine like your house in Alaska. And now you got little 40 like, shitting everywhere. Fucking,
Oh my
you don't know what to
goodness.
do.
What happened with them?
I don't know. I'd imagine he
You
raised
got-
them. I
Raised
wasn't
them
like
or
I
gave
wasn't
some
close
away?
close to the
Guys
guy.
didn't follow up on this.
I'm pretty sure he had to go to like alcohol treatment after this, but
This is the lamp smasher?
yes.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
yeah. Lamp
Oh
Smasher, yeah.
God, it's so
So,
hard because it's
that's
like
where there was
he was getting
signs.
so endearing with the chicks,
And
but
then,
now it's
no,
like
took a turn.
But so so apparently his house and his brother's house are right next to each other, and him and his wife got lit, and they were having an argument, right? And so then he got to the point where he thought, okay, I guess he went next door to his brother's house. Like, I need to leave the situation. I'm going. Well, she had come up to the house, and she had admitted later on, like, I shouldn't have done this, right? And she pushed the issue, and he answered the door. Well, he was already blacked out at this point, so apparently, like, they got heated, and he had just taken a lamp and hit her with it and closed the door, and he didn't remember it. And so then
she was fine, right?
yeah, she turned out okay, everything was okay, but it was still like this, like,
You
cops
can
had to get
to
called.
that level.
Yeah, cops had to get called now, and it's at the point where at 5 o'clock in the morning, first sergeant is like having to drive to this man's house, and he shows up and he says, "Hey, like, do you know why I'm here?" He's like, "No." I'm like, "What's the matter?" He's like, let's go get breakfast quick," like,
Yeah.
and then had to explain to him what had happened and how now he had to take him to the MPs, that now it's like an issue.
What's MPs?
The military police.
Okay.
He had to go take him to the police station. Who knows what happens?
Yeah.
Everything worked out okay. Like they sought treatment, everything like that. But it kind of opened all of our eyes that we were all kind of looking around like, so I guess it's not a bad thing to go to therapy, huh? Like, I don't really want to do it. My wife would turn me to fucking no.
Right.
But like, it was like everybody was like, okay, maybe this is, a little bit more serious. And then especially First Sergeant, he had more of a open view, and he expressed a lot more that it was more important that everybody get checked out.
Wow.
So,
yeah, that's crazy to just like, because he was like a kind of good dude, right? He liked chicks.
Yeah,
he was
right.
fine dude, and then
He was good.
He was
had
coping.
kids.
And...
Yeah,
I feel like PTSD and alcohol, like, they do go hand in hand, like a lot of people.
Comorbid or whatever.
Yes, but it is worse. Like I mean, we had a history together with, him drinking and me drinking, and both of us just with our different traumas, like, it brought out the worst in us, and then we would trigger each other, and it's like, what is the common denominator here?
Drinking is so like the fact that it's normalized when it is just so easy to get out of control with.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like so accessible. Like, it makes you forget everything instantly. 3 sips in, you feel better about whatever situation is happening.
You think you
And,
do.
right.
think you do, yeah.
Right. Exactly.
We were just talking about this the other day, actually, because after you got medically retired, you moved to Downingtown?
No, I moved back home.
Oh, okay.
I lived with my parents for a few months, and then that's when I did a Florida trip for a week, and then I was looking at the campus for UTI in Orlando, which I actually was trying to, but I thought the drive was gonna take like 3 or 4 days, and I did it in like a day, and I was like, oh great, now I'm here early, and then I fucking ended up at a bar and met
Do you
people.
think that is
and...
when it started, or do you think that you were already, like, kind of in it when you, like, first got out? Like, were you drinking then, or it didn't start until, like, you had to, like, come back into civilization?
No, I was shell shocked like when I first got out, because I was married at the time. When I first got out, we moved back home.
Not to me, disclaimer.
Not to you, right? My previous wife. So which ended fine. It was amicable, right? We
Shout
did
out
it.
ex-wives.
Yeah, shout out.
Right?
And now we're together and
Yeah,
everything's
everything's
great.
She's great. She has a kid.
Yeah.
And so it
Young,
sounds like I'm
young.
so weird about it, but I'm not.
No,
She's doing great. Everything
especially
went
because
great.
I
Yeah.
feel like military marriages happen so young because you are leaving and you're with someone for a while. So
Yeah.
it's like you know, for the benefits and just all of the different reasons, it's like marriage is the smart thing to do,
Right.
but you don't know each other like that well because you are still growing. Like at 18,
And there's so
you're
much time distance.
what
too.
do we always say?
Right.
His frontal lobe wasn't even formed.
Yeah,
yet.
right.
Right. No,
So-
I was well. We met when I was I think 17 or 16, and then by the time I was finished in Eglin, and I got orders to Alaska, it was like, well, we kind of have to do this that way because otherwise I'd be living in the barracks, and she couldn't come. So it was like it was very sped up because of that. But I do thank her because I feel like she got me through it as well because like if I was up there alone or if I would have had to live in the barracks or if I would have had to rely on other people, I would have been out drinking more. I wouldn't have been home drinking. We established such a like a house a unit house. Like when people would come to the unit, I would pick them up at the airport and we'd come back to my house and we would all drink. Like the whole unit would be there. We'd all, well, not like excessive drink. Everybody drank beer and shit.
Socially, yeah.
socially.
Back when I drank beer, right? But it was like, let's play beer pong, whatever. But every morning I woke up and all my guys had all like folded the blankets and they put everything away and they left it perfect. The first set of first guys. My
This
second
was when you
rotation.
were sergeant, so you were in command of them? Or this is
No,
just-
this was when I was a specialist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I had established my place in the unit, and we were gearing up for deployment. So it was like everybody was, it was all about camaraderie.
When you got the news for deployment, what rush was that? Like, were you together with people? Were you with your ex-wife? Like, where?
It wasn't like American Sniper, where everybody gets the call and they're, oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, we were just like, oh, hey, they said we're deploying in September instead of November now. Oh, might be sooner. Hey, this mission came up. It was like, it was a fluid thing, and we were always on it's called a road to war, where you're like planning to deploy. It's the logistical end of things, where it's like all the planning and prepping your guys, making sure we have all the right trainings and stuff. Sorry, still using my hands.
Where did you deploy to?
Afghanistan.
Yeah. For how long?
Uh,
I know all this, by the way, but obviously for the sake of the podcast, I'm asking him like I don't know.
right. It's so cute. No.
I know everything about him.
You're kind of playing dumb.
Yeah,
knows
right?
more than most. That's true. No, but I was like, do you want the grid coordinates or like the no? I was mainly deployed in Shindan Air Force Base in the western region of Afghanistan. But I've traveled every region except the north.
Wow.
It's just easier to say east, west, and south.
Did you get to explore the culture? Like, did you get to try the foods and kind of see the actual civilian life?
The option was there for the food wise. The civilian like town wise, it's not like you could walk around or anything. I was always rolling around in a truck or if I was going slow, I could like look around and I have tons of GoPro footage of just driving through the towns.
Wow.
Which is a desert, pretty much.
Yeah,
Ah.
it's definitely it's a lifestyle change. It's cultural difference. And then but the only times I was like out and about, it was like high adrenaline situations where I didn't like anything.
You weren't stopping to smell the roses.
No. It wasn't like, oh, look, that guy's got a really nice camcorder. It was like, fuck that guy, man. I gotta watch that guy.
Yeah.
Or, you just get programmed for different things. Like when I see the smoke or when I see a chimney lit,
You start to stress.
Yeah, I start stressing because I'm thinking they're signaling that we're coming.
Right.
We even had intel that like after we left that they were gonna try to hit my team coming up soon. Like they had been watching us.
That would be a hard thing, I feel. I mean, I would never join the military because I feel like my anxiety would just drive me nuts. Like, to be
Yeah, and
able
you're
to calm
asthmatic
myself
as
down.
hell.
Yeah, I would not be surviving in
That's
no
actually-
desert.
That's true.
They'd be like, no thanks, Leah, you're good.
The aftermath of it, if I were to ever do that, I don't think that, like, you know, I know that we had talked about you acclimating to even having to go into a grocery store just because you do have that I have to watch my back
Oh, yeah.
mentality. So you are looking for all the exits, and like that automatically increases your anxiety. So then it makes it like, well, why do I even want to put myself in this situation type of thing?
Yeah, the hypervigilance of it all. I was very aware, but I was foolish going into it. Like I was aware going into it that there was a possibility of it becoming this thing, becoming a hermit or like not being able to interact or having these issues. I just always had this unhealthy mentality that it didn't matter because I wasn't going to be around.
Right.
I didn't care.
You
I
were
was
prepared
like,
to die, so it was
Yes.
like, all right,
Yeah.
that's gonna happen at some point.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
So even after like when I got on deployment and I stepped off the plane, it's like you smell that terrible smell. And it's like wow, like I had this internal feeling that I wasn't leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Even after I got back from that deployment, it was like all right, well, let's just shove this stuff down a little bit and we'll get ready for the next one. And that's what as soon as I got back, I rolled right into non-commissioned officers academy, and then I did 2 special missions in support of the Secret Service. And so it was like back to back to back. I was traveling.
Protected the president.
This is true.
You protected
Maybe.
the president.
Obama.
Yep.
You're
Obama.
Obama.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
That's my dude, right?
That's your dude.
And
Nice.
Like,
Shout out
I
Obama.
would,
He
but
is so modest. Like he just like, and I'm over here like my husband protected the president.
Oh, good. And you know what? I was just gonna ask if he knew if aliens were real.
I would not be able to say it. No.
You know, he's not.
That's
He's not
confidential.
CIA.
They'll get
I got
blacklisted. Don't be asking him any
it.
questions.
Yeah, you know, they know all my texts. They know. The FBI is well aware of me. At
That's
this
a
point.
whole rabbit hole we could go down
yeah.
another time.
I'm on an
Aliens.
FBI watch list. Oh, that thing. Yeah. No.
Too?
I was gonna say shout out to Obama, but not because
He put you on a watch list after you protected him.
No, that was
like, "That guy's
beforehand. That
sketch."
was beforehand. No, when you for clarification, when you graduate the EOD school, you're placed on the list because now you have the exact knowledge on how to make a bomb, pretty much out of anything.
Oh wow!
And they only did that after one brilliant graduate decided to sink his own boat with explosives and do an insurance claim. And then they did the police
no
did
one
the
was on the
investigation.
boat?
No one was on the boat. He did it
he
for
just
the
did
money.
it for insurance.
Yeah, for the money. But because he knew how to, right? But then they did an investigation and realized he placed a charge on the hole and blew it.
Gosh.
And so then they're
Men's
like,
mental
wow.
health, guys.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Go
Yeah.
to therapy.
Let's
Yeah.
take care of our military
Don't
men.
sink your boat. Just go to therapy.
That's right. When I lose my screws, it'll be like a 5-star GTA rating. There'll be
Right.
helicopters going around, tanks
Like
and
a
shit
sensible
rolling down.
person,
Yeah.
not sinking
So
your own
therefore,
boat for money.
if you know any
Oh.
veterans that might have those screws, don't push the pins because like we just want to keep that society
Yeah.
rolling,
Definitely
unless
not.
yeah,
it's somebody else's.
That's why they can smoke in their little the veterans like the
The
little
lounges.
association. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
they're
Just
allowed
let
to
them be
smoke.
over
They're
there.
allowed to drink during
I'll
the
tell
day.
you what. Every time I saw somebody get hit or a truck get hit or something, the first time them guys were out of like an immediate danger sense where they can kneel down, cigarette came
Cigarette.
out
Yep.
every fucking time.
I'm
Everybody.
sure.
Yeah.
You were a big cigarette smoker.
I was, yeah. Deployment, it was like a pack and a half or 2 a day. Plus, it was so novelty. It was so novel because you go to the store and you pick up a carton of cigarettes off the shelf and it's cellophaned like an individual carton, and you're just like, I can just grab this. Nobody carded me. I just walk up to the register like. Yeah.
Here's my
Like,
box of cigarettes.
yeah. People would buy like an entire box of tins, like tins of chew. You know, it was
Oh.
when
Oh,
we
yeah, that
had
was your vice,
shortages,
too.
yeah.
Drinking
Gnarly.
and nicotine.
You
yeah.
couldn't, and you were under General Order 1, so you couldn't drink anything. You couldn't even like I think that
when you're deployed.
when you're deployed,
Yeah.
they let you they let you have like one beer sometimes, depending on the base for like football games, like on like playoff games or something.
They're like, yeah, you're allowed to alter your
Yeah.
effectiveness
Just right
as
now.
long as there's
Just right.
football on.
Yep.
That's America.
That's right. They probably did it when like the Dallas cheerleaders fucking came out or something.
Yeah.
We
They're like, this
our
is
base
worth
they
it.
toured that. Like we had, I don't think it was the Dallas cheerleaders. We had some cheerleader group come and they wanted to like get in the bomb suits and do all the robots and stuff. And they were asking me, they're like, "Do you want to go?" I'm like, "No, you send that guy." Like,
Why
it's like,
would the girls think you would want to watch them in bomb suits? Like, wouldn't you want to just like see regular cheerleading
Well,
outfits?
most of the guys didn't get to like even interact with the people, but they came out to the special units and they're like, "You guys have stuff, cool stuff that you could show them." But no, I never wanted to
Yeah,
do
you're like,
that.
nah.
No,
Not your thing.
we did order like cases of near beer where it was like the non-alcoholic beer,
Oh,
and I have pictures where we're like playing beer pong with like a pistol in the middle, and
Oh my gosh.
it was fun. It was
Crazy. EOD guys are
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
um
Well, they're willing to get blown up.
Yeah.
The baseline's not great.
Yes. Well, when I had posted that veterans post about my hero and everything that he's been through, another friend of mine that I had been friends with since like 5th grade or younger than that, he was in the Marines, right? Ian?
Who was this? Ian?
Yeah.
You said Coast Guard.
Coast
right?
Guard. Yes. Sorry. So he commented on it and he's like, "Oh wow," he's like, "I didn't know that he was EOD." He's like, "That's like, pretty badass." And I'm like, "Yeah, he's a pretty badass guy. Like, that's why I married him."
I feel like you've told me so many times, and every time I forget. And like Dylan was like, "Oh, what did he do?" I was like, "It's military."
No, like he defused bombs.
I know. I'm gonna. Luckily, this podcast will help me remember.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I was like, "You nervous for the pod?"
No, I got
You
stories
literally
for
took
days.
me
You
as
want?
No, so as in terms of, acclimating mental health, Movember, what do you think helped you be able to express like the things that, were hard for you to battle in your own head to a therapist? Or not even like to a therapist, but just like what helped you get to that point of going to
Carrying
therapy?
that weight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right, we'll get past the fun stuff. I'm like, that sounds fun, but wasn't if you look at it in a traumatic way. But then you get to
Yeah.
the aftercare, the after retirement, right? So if you get in my mind space, I come home, and so I just been medically retired. I was getting my VA disability. It wasn't 100% yet. I was still figuring that out. So I was like limited, but I had brain surgery. I had 4 surgeries in 18 months, and then that's what got it to where I couldn't stay in because I was fighting like they're like you had brain surgery. You literally have to get out. So in my head, I'm like, you're not broken. Like, I know who I am. I'm this giant titan of person, and I can, I'm trying to have confidence and still humble myself. But then I'm also like, we got to work on this other shadow work stuff. And then I'm like, all right, my wife at the time, she's like, all right, now it's my turn. Like, the last 6 years has been about you, rightfully so. Now it's you can have the career, whatever. We're still fighting in that way, and we're living in her childhood home. So I'm in a room that it has maybe 2 foot around a queen size mattress, and like no disrespect or anything, but it was just a lot, and I didn't understand how much overstimulation I had, and we had my dog at the time, so I had a lot more times where I got overwhelmed and didn't understand what PTSD was fully doing to me. And I think that the biggest thing that helped all of it was time. Like, everybody takes different amounts of time to do. Like, I feel like every part of my journey I needed to go through in order to become who I am, because I feel at 34, I feel very aware of who I am and what I do and how it affects everyone that it could affect. And like, I'm very aware of my anger and my depression and my different triggers and different cues. I am aware of the limitations of my body and that I actually have limitations, whereas my mind thinks I don't have limitations. It was a very big shift going from having the purpose and the weight of the world like so readily on my shoulders. Like, I strapped it on. I was ready to go, right? I'm like, 20 years, let's do it. And then I'm thrown back into the world at 26, 27, retired. Don't really understand how that works. My dad's not even retired yet. And then I end up, my ex-wife and I, we understood. I realized that it wasn't working. That I needed my own help. She wanted her own thing. We were growing in different ways, so we decided that it was best to split. And then um so and I filed for bankruptcy around the same time. So it's like trifecta. I was really I'm from midnight to 6 a.m. I'm out in my truck in my parents' backyard, and they're in their back parking lot watching David Dobrik YouTube videos
Nope.
because I'm like
Shout out
chain
David.
smoking
chain
cigarettes.
smoking with
He
my
almost
dog.
gave me a Tesla.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, see, look at that.
Yeah,
He didn't.
he didn't though. David.
Shout out David Dobrik.
I wrote to them guys and said I wanted to fly out and get the Drake and Josh logo on like tattoo and strike out the Drake part, it'd be funny for Josh Peck. I don't think they ever responded, but
I like the
I grew up with
willingness.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, but I was in that era. I bought a camera. I thought I could vlog. I can do. I have the
He
freedom.
can. He's so good at it.
Heck yeah.
He is so
I
good
like
at it.
that. What kind of things were you vlogging?
Oh, well, I'm the.
I was about
The
to say
king
that
of
sounds like kind of a
craziness.
tough time to like vlog, but
Yeah.
I like the enthusiasm though.
Like trying to figure out who I was, but I was going about it the wrong way. Like I didn't even realize that I needed to stop hiding who I was.
Right.
Like I didn't realize I was hiding behind this shell of like I didn't know I was supposed to be a warrior. I'm supposed to be this big guy, but I have such feminine energy, and yet I don't know how. Like I was still at the point where when I sat down, I felt I needed to like sit up straight and have my, I couldn't cross my legs or whatever. I couldn't be girly, But then I got my hand tattoos. That really opened up a lot of doors because being out and with them being so fresh and dark, it was like I saw everyone staring at me and I was forced to not care. It was like exposure therapy. These were the first tattoos that were really for me instead of like matching or being for someone else. It was more to give me the armor to not be afraid to be who I am.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, all this time I'm in therapy. I was going to therapy, but I was on. I had gone from like when I got out of the military, I was on 15 different medications. I was on painkillers, antipsychotics, antidepressants. Going to therapy intensively. I had gone to 2 intensive programs to the VA. I was doing everything.
That's good.
Before that start, did you have like a rock bottom, like, where you didn't want to be here anymore, or?
Yeah, I did. I had a rock bottom when I with my ex-wife at one point. I
Yep.
effectively attempted suicide, right? But and by taking pills, and it didn't really do anything. I don't remember much of it. I don't take it as much of it as a serious attempt. I see it as a wake up call back then. Should have been more, but I stayed in therapy because of that. I mean, she went and took me to therapy, made me tell about it and everything, but nothing ever came about of that. I kept going at therapy. I was at a very low though, because I wasn't really ready for my marriage to fall apart. I was still holding on to what it could be, and it just wasn't there. It wasn't gonna be.
That's
Yeah,
a lot to fall
Getting
apart
out.
because you
Yep.
literally thought that was gonna be your life until the end of
Yep.
it,
And the
then
military.
you get thrown out
Being
after
told
all
I
those
can't
surgeries.
go back in. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, that's a lot.
And then like just the wife thing not
Yep.
really quite working out either.
Yep.
And,
You had to restructure your entire life, your
whole thing.
identity.
Yep.
And my whole plan had fallen apart. But at the same time, I have this safety net of monthly income. And so then you're adding on another thing of how everybody sees the amount of money I'm getting, but why am I not going anywhere? How can I do it? Or how come I can't do anything? And because I'm just irresponsible at that point. My mind was everywhere. I was like, I could vlog, I could go to school. I don't know what I want to do. I'm young, right? At that point, it was like I reverted back to being 20 because my whole 19 to 27 was taken by the military. Not taken, but it was so strict, and I was so strict with the rules. Like when I would come home, if people were smoking weed, I would leave the room because I didn't want to get drug tested and fucking fail because I was like, this is my life. This
And
is
now
my
Wayne
life.
is the biggest schmoner ever.
Yes, I am enjoying my retirement
Yes.
immensely.
Yeah.
And I am on 0 pain medication because weed is a much better pain medication.
We're
go.
definitely cannabis friendly, and I think, you know, there are some people that should not smoke weed. They have the paranoid mentality that it increases their anxiety, but there are other people that it motivates them, that they literally do it to clean their house, to organize their stuff, like
Be more present.
be more present. Yeah, like I watch so many different influencers that are parents that are like, I gotta smoke my schmort today because I want to go play Legos with my kids and
Yeah.
actually enjoy it and not feel like I have to do the laundry and clean the bathroom and do all these other things. I can just like be in the moment. So I'm sure that that really does help you, like be in the moment and,
so
and
much.
feel relaxed so you're not battling your mind and your body.
Mental health wise, as far as that goes, I definitely would say that you don't shy away from the treatment, but also don't push people into the treatment. They need to be willing to accept it. I had been to 3 different intensive treatment facilities, each of which had like explosive outcomes for me in a mental sense, like having me in tears because like how come I can't do this. And it took till had stability, and I went to a program called Boulder Crest. It was with Warrior Path, and that
Yep.
Nice.
that was actually the best thing ever because it was 8 guys, and there was I think maybe 6 or 8 different instructors. I don't know numbers, like my mind's not that great for that.
I
But
don't know numbers, and I have no excuse.
well, for me, if it might yesterday or the other day could have been like 3 months ago, could be a year ago. I'm like, oh yeah, the other day.
Boulder Crest was awesome.
It was
Wayne-
extremely great.
Wayne
Yes.
and I were together when he went to Boulder Crest. We both were struggling like mentally. I was trying to figure out how to be married to someone with PTSD with my own traumas and triggers and how to not trigger him because I would get so defensive from my past stuff because I wasn't fully healed or understanding, and then I would just treat him, differently, not how he deserved to be treated, which would trigger him because he's like, I'm doing the best I can,
Yeah.
So when he had brought up Boulder Crest to me, he's like, it's a stay. I go for like a week or 2, I think it was. It was
Oh,
in
yeah, I signed
Virginia.
up for it. That's
Yep.
right.
And he's like, I'll be away, so like you'll have to, man the ship.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sad because I'm like, oh, this is like an adjustment, but at the same time I was like, we both need this. Like I hope that this really helps you so that way you don't have to like fight your demons so much every day because it's exhausting, like you're trying
heavy.
to, it's so heavy. It's such a heavy thing, and you don't like what I feel like people don't understand and why they don't talk about it is because they feel like they have to do it alone, which you do. Like, you do definitely have to do the work, but you can lean on resources. Like, Boulder Crest was a group of people who knew the holistic way to work on your brain and train your mind that, like, PTSD is not who you are. Like, it's something that you definitely work through or that you can work through. You did like equine therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
Yeah, it was
that
it was
nice.
great with that. Like they the day was very regimented. Like started out with like exercise, and then they did some kind of mentally kind of taxing thing where it kind of broke you down, made you cry, and then it was like, but let's go do a fun activity.
Let's ride a horse.
Like the equestrian therapy was great. They had a huge open barn with like a I don't know, a certified wrangler of some kind. This lady looked like she could kick all of our asses. Like we were all like, "Oh yes, ma'am." Like okay, and, like older lady, but and then she's just prancing around with all these horses that are so big, and
Hold on. I can't even say
equestrian.
equestrian therapy. Just I said equine, so just
What's equine? Wait, what is
is
it?
it equine? It's
No,
not
equestrian.
Yeah.
What's equine?
I don't know.
I might even be pronouncing it wrong. I don't know.
No, I think it is equestrian.
Horses. Okay,
Horses.
horses.
Horse therapy.
Horse therapy.
So a horse can actually sense your heartbeat from 20 feet away. I think up to 20 feet
and
away.
like your energy. and
Your
stuff.
energy. So then that was a big thing, especially like you're with a bunch of guys. All the guys were specialized trades. We had one guy from the CIA or from was it CIA? I think I told you. Yeah.
I think
He
so.
He was
knows about
a secret
UFOs.
squirrel. Yeah, this dude, he's in his Birkenstocks with his curly hair and his little belly, and you're like,
He definitely knows.
and it's like, what did you do? And he just like, yeah, I don't want to share much, but
Yeah.
so
Shout out,
yeah,
guy.
that's
Shout out,
right, that's
guy.
right, yeah, and so but you're around guys with similar interests and trades. You're in cabins together, so you're kind of forced to be around each other and be vulnerable with each other, and a lot of these other guys, like I felt like one of the smaller people in the room as an EOD tech, and there was other EOD techs there. So especially in my line, it was brotherly. Like there's anywhere in the world you can pull up the EOD help map and find the closest guy to you and give him a call and he will help you. Like that's how close the community is. We have our own suicide hotline because like it is so rampant in our career field. So it's a big thing there.
You wrote a song.
We did write a song. That's
Yeah.
true. We there was a songwriting with veterans guy. The guy he wrote was it one of like Honky Tonk or something like that. He
Yeah.
wrote a Jason Aldean song, a couple of Jason Aldean
Nice.
songs. So he comes in and he started a melody and kind of pitched, let's make a song.
And you
And
know that it was
yeah.
like, I take my whiskey bottle.
No, maybe.
That's pretty good.
It was pretty good. I have to send you the thing.
Yeah, we can link it. Is that
Yeah.
on YouTube? Or like,
No, I have a file of it
Oh,
though.
okay,
It had a good arc. At the last chorus changed about how I finally see how to turn the light on. I can see how
Aw.
to turn the night into a new dawn.
no, it
you
was
know?
awesome. When he shared it with me, I was like, this is really cool.
Heck yeah,
was good.
wow. You've been down for everything.
That's
Yeah.
right.
You did the bombs, and then you vlogging and trying to reach out to
Right.
David Dobrik. You wrote songs. Now you do all the
yeah,
stuff today.
That's right. I free
You know
fell.
what cracks me up? So when we started the cleaning business, like a couple months in, we're talking about it because Wayne, small disclaimer, he got thrown into this.
Yeah.
I was like, hey,
I do not like to clean.
we have a cleaning company now, so surprise!
Yeah.
It was like,
Welcome.
we have an LLC. Well, you have an What? I have an LLC. No,
It's a we.
Yeah,
weird.
yeah. So, he's so good at it. So I'm like, you are so meticulous. Like you're such a good
Military training.
Yes, like he's so good, but it's like you have depression. Like when you have depression, you don't want to clean.
Nope.
You don't want to do your own stuff. Like you're
No.
fighting the everyday battle in your head and your body, and it's like
Right.
cleaning is tough. Like it can be an escape mentally, but you're putting your body through so much, and then it's like you're fighting your own self. But
The
anyway,
universe had such a cruel joke. They're like, "What's your worst thing? Depression? Oh, I'm gonna tell you what you're good at. Cleaning. Let's make your job cleaning
I
forever."
can relate to
Yeah.
that so
yeah.
hard.
But
Oh
he
my
says
God.
to me, he's like, I don't know how I got here. I mean, I kind of do. I used to defuse bombs, real live bombs, and now I defuse bombs in people's toilets.
There you go.
Cleaning
I'm
up-
like,
and cleaning
I
up people's
love
bones.
you. Yes, I'm
Yeah.
cleaning up people's
I used
bombs.
to love cleaning the toilets, honestly. Like, I know it's like crazy, but when I was a housekeeper, it would just be like so satisfying, like knowing that the grossest thing in the
Bless you.
house
Thank
is
you.
now clean.
That's true. Bless you.
And,
I used to have pride in that too, but it got to like a weird level. Like the dudes would come home and be like, "Oh yeah, and I see you in here every time." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just king of the thrones over here, man. What are you gonna do?" And I start, you find yourself trying to give someone advice about, yeah, you got to use a pumice stone and this and that, and it's
Yeah.
like no one wants to hear
No
about
one.
the cleaning at the football party right now. Just drink your beer.
I
Touchdown.
saw like a TikTok and
America.
America.
I saw a TikTok and it was like that one drunk friend that goes on side quest and it showed him vacuuming the guest bedroom.
Oh,
when
that's
he's
awesome.
drunk. Yeah.
And it's like, hell yeah, dude.
I'm the guy with the dogs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. I don't drink anymore, so anytime I'm at like a social setting, like I'm always doing the weird shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, listen, I need dopamine from something. I'm not drinking, so I'm just gonna
Yeah.
go. Like Leah and I were talking about, we'll rearrange people's houses.
Yeah.
Like she'll want to do
So I'm so guilty of that when we go
Yeah.
to like deep clean or something, and I'm just like, this will
Always.
probably look better like this.
The worst is like when we get a client and it's like they've got a little bit of dementia. They're like, try not to move too much, and she comes in just real.
Fuck you,
that was just-
seriously, like
That was one time.
sucks
No,
to you, lady.
no, it was helpful. She
No,
did
shout
very
out
well.
Whiteside Cleaning for not doing that. And,
It's like that video you posted about like when they cancel cleanings and you walk up and take a piece of their puzzle. I'm like, oh man, we don't
Follow,
do
like,
that.
A,
We don't
a
do
cleaning
that.
influencer.
Oh, yeah.
Takes a village, I think it is her
Yeah,
name.
I was a housekeeper for almost 4 years, and I was a nanny for like very rich people. So
Yeah.
the house cleaning thing, we could probably talk.
Well,
for-
she like started doing it just to make extra money, and then she would just film herself, and then she got a following to do it. So
Yeah.
like now she has the cleaning
I
followers.
love cleaning videos.
Yeah,
Ugh.
but she's funny. Like she does funny stuff, and the one like meme she did, she was like when they don't rebook with you or something, like when you go to someone's house and
Snag a little
yeah,
something.
and she's like there's a
Hides
puzzle on the
it.
table, and she just takes one piece of the puzzle and like puts it in her cleaning bag.
Diabolical, dude.
I was like, that's
Diabolical.
amazing.
Oh my
So
god.
great.
That's
Yeah.
like nightmare status. That would cause me to have a mental break.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
well,
rebook then, or you'll lose your puzzle pieces.
yeah.
One piece at a time.
One piece at a
I
time.
have had a transformative experience with cleanings. I have had many mental breakdowns, and it's only just you in the mirror, with your black gloves, and you look like a
honey.
killer. No, I legit.
You look like a killer.
When I get sweaty when my hair's all back and I got my gloves on, I look like you just called, like John Wick was just here, and you
Yeah.
called the cleaner to come and get the body. It's like that's what
I
it
love
looks
it.
like.
He'll
I
send
bet
me.
it's cathartic though, honestly.
Yeah,
like,
I feel like I scare some people, like when I just run into the client, like, oh hey, and I'm awkward, and
Send me
be
a-
like, it's all right. I used to defuse bombs, so you're welcome.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
it's all right. You're safe here.
I save that because if I ever do get into awkward situation, be like, well, does it comfort you to know I protected the president?
Yeah.
And then just to be
But
like,
I'm
"Wait,
also
what?"
on the list.
Yeah, it's true.
No, he doesn't say that part.
No,
does he?
it's a list without a felony though.
Yeah. It's a good list,
Good
okay?
He
It's a
sends
good
me a
list.
snap the other day, and it's like we're doing a deep clean, and he has this tool that is like it looks like a toothbrush.
Shout
It's
out
one of
to
those
Ryobi,
like deep
sponsor
clean
me, send me some
Oh.
tools.
stuff.
Yeah,
I
seriously.
use all the scrubbers.
So
Yeah.
he's using it to get in the grooves of the toilet, like behind the seat and whatever. But
Yeah.
it vibrates so loud, especially when you're cleaning it. So he captioned it, "I'm basically a tattoo artist," because it sounds
Yes.
just like a tattoo gun. And he's just like, and you can't see what it's doing. You can just see the motion of his
And
hand.
you got black gloves
And
too.
he's got the black
I
gloves
had
on.
the paper towel, like as I'm on the side of the toilet, and I was like, and I looked like I'm looking at a reference, and I like swiped it. And it was-
I was cracking
Yeah,
up.
it
I
was
was
so
like, I
good.
love this.
I was like, I had to record it.
That is so funny, dude.
I have a lot of fun with the video end of things because it is really transformative. I mean, I spent 7 hours in the bathroom
Yeah.
on Friday, and
The bathrooms always look the best.
Yeah,
the room
I
that
love
Wayne is in
bathrooms.
always sparkles like no other room.
Oh, are you like the bathroom specialist?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Heck
our
yeah.
brand.
Yeah.
It used to be kitchens and bathrooms, but it's because it's the room that like doesn't matter if it's a maintenance clean or deep clean. It needs more love and care than most of the things.
Yeah, and there's so many like crevices and
Mm-hmm.
grout
Yep.
and like
And they just get the
Yeah.
dirtiest. Like kitchens and bathrooms really are the most.
the humidity catches so much dust. Like even if it's
Yep.
not like people think bathrooms, oh pee pee poopy. No, like the humidity will
the stuff
catch
that
the
sticks
dust.
to the walls
And,
if
like,
you
on the
don't, if you have a
baseboards.
fan and you don't turn that on, and then if you just take a look at your walls, it's like they're fuzzy.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. And
Yep.
that makes the deep clean so
Yeah,
hard because I got to go
definitely.
from top to bottom and wipe every wall because they'll see it.
PSA for anyone that wants to just like keep their home clean. Air purifiers.
Air purifiers.
One in
yes.
every room. Just do it. Do the investment. Like
Yeah.
they
Get
have.
one that has the smart app.
Yep.
Yes.
You can turn them on from your phone and make sure that your vents are on in your bathroom when you're taking a shower.
Yes. And if they are not, at least leave the window open slightly and at least for like 10 minutes
to reduce
afterwards.
moisture
to
because
reduce the moisture.
mold grows, and like even if you're the cleanest person and you clean your bathroom, if you're taking hot showers and you're not exposing like any air to it and it's just going in the walls, then it's in the walls, it seeps into the walls, it's behind the walls, and then you're
Forever.
breathing that in
Yep.
every single
And
time
it's
that
so
you're in that
hard to
bathroom.
remediate.
So hard to remediate and expensive.
Yeah.
So just invest in the air purifiers, turn the fans on. It's little simple things that you can
And
do.
daily shower spray.
And that's self-care, which ties into another podcast, so make sure you give a listen.
Where?
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 Yeah,
on the
yeah.
gram of
Where
Insta?
is
Do you
it?
know? Do you follow us?
Is that on social media?
Leah, he's trying to
Is that-
get us to
Is that
plug.
the? Is that the? What is that? Facebook?
Facebook?
Yeah. I was on
Facebook.
the line, right? That's what it's
Wayne's
supposed
a
to be.
little ancient when it comes to social media.
But he knows David Dobrik. It's
That's
interesting.
right. If you add me, I might you might be one of the exclusive 500 friends I might have.
Oh,
Right? I think I have 500.
I have
Wow.
less.
I'm
Hey, I
trending.
have less than that. I
Really?
have 300.
Oh,
Yeah,
shoot.
I keep
That's.
it real small.
I
I'm
just
so bad that
approached
when
1K followers.
Oh,
1K.
there we go.
you
When
doing
Not
it?
big time or anything, but
Yeah, you thought you
no
were
big
gonna
deal.
be famous? Leah.
Famous by association.
All you.
I
And
think
she
that
needs
I'm
somebody pretty to hold her purse, right?
oh,
So
yeah.
100%.
There you
besides
go.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out Aria.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Our
She's
producer.
producing in the
Or
background.
Yeah.
No, but thank you so much for sharing all that stuff because I know that that can be hard to talk about
Yeah.
and definitely what you went through deployed, before deployment, coming out of it, coming back into civilization, mental health in general, and you're still working on it.
I am.
It's
It is a never ending process.
Yep.
You're always learning. I'm always listening to everybody's advice or anything, and you just take little tidbits and find what works for you. You gotta have tools in your toolbox, right? Everybody who's been to therapy knows that one.
Yep.
And thank you guys for having me on here.
Yeah.
And I wanted to say to anybody who might be listening, male, female, anybody, veteran, struggling with that PTS is now politically correct called. I don't really care. If you have issues and even if you don't think it's related to it, but you have time with these traumatic events, you can always talk. You can try to reach out to me. I might respond. I don't know. It might take a while. If you see me on the streets, give me a hey, what's up? I need help. But seriously, like I struggled for a long time with alcohol and drugs and every kind of vice I could find, and I was always struggling, thinking like, oh, am I an addict? But then it's not. It's actually because I was trying to mask these feelings, like they were symptoms of the cause or of the main underlying problem,
Yeah.
which was the PTS. And that's where Boulder Crest, like going there, it really helped me release a lot of the things I was holding on to. It taught you don't have to carry so much stuff in your pack. You can put it down. Especially since the war's over. And yeah, you're going to ask for help. And it's, nobody's weak anymore. If you think somebody's weak, then it's probably you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very much
For
so.
real.
Yep, I love that. I agree with you definitely. Even if I've vented things to strangers other than my family before because it's like they get it
Yeah.
a little bit, like
It's
you can
safer
just
sometimes.
yeah sometimes. So don't be afraid to reach out and ask for help. Mental health is just so huge. I know a couple years ago I worked for someone and they were so weirded out by mental health or like mental health days. Like they just thought it was like this silly thing.
Yeah.
And the more that I think about it, like we do mental health days for Aria from school some days.
Yeah.
And we're
Parents
just
used
like,
to do that for me too when I was a kid.
yeah, that's amazing because it's overwhelming sometimes. And when you're doing the same thing or you're not getting the proper rest or there's just so many different factors that you wake up and have a bad day, like it is okay to take the time for you to reset, to get your mind right because bad things happen when you stress your body out and you put yourself in constant stress. Like your body will get sick and it will make you sick, and if you're not taking care of yourself and you're going to work and just like taking Dayquil and fighting through it, you're gonna get more sick and then you're gonna be out of work for longer and it's gonna just get worse as it goes on. So just take the self-care days, ask for help, go to therapy, talk to your people. Don't be afraid to talk about your mental health.
Take small steps. Even if you're not ready to go to therapy, just start kind of taking a mental inventory of like when you do something in a day and try to think like, why did I do that? What reason did that? Like break it down. Start breaking it down further. Like, if you're angry at something, your anger's not a real emotion. It's either fear or sadness, right? It's stemming from one of those two things. You're either upset about something someone did to you or upset about the world being the way it is, whatever. But you just take more inventory, be more aware of what you're thinking about and why.
Hold yourself accountable.
Hold yourself accountable. Yep.
Yep.
And it'll lead to a better you because you'll start realizing you're not as snippy about things, or it's a bad time to have that mentality that this is the way I am. Because
there are resources out there. The VA has a bunch of resources. There is a suicide hotline. it's a lot. It feels like a lot of work when you're in the pit of depression or anxiety to put yourself through going to see doctors or
Mm-hmm.
talking about your emotions or your feelings or just what you're dealing with on a daily basis. But once you get through the first couple hurdles, correct me if I'm wrong,
Mm-hmm.
it does get easier. You do have days or weeks where you're in more pain and you fall back, but just give yourself grace. Just be patient with yourself and don't be afraid to talk about what you're going through.
Mm-hmm. Like says the one thing that they showed us in the program was a chart where it says what progress looked like for one person, where it's gradual line up. But what progress could also mean is that you could draw a little fucking B on there and it's still
Yeah.
going up.
Yeah.
You can go back and forth several times, but as long as you just keep heading towards that daily progress and trying to don't be hard on yourself and keep going forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy Movember, Mental Health
Mm-hmm.
Awareness and Suicide Prevention Month. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much, Wayne, for sharing your story.
Thank
We really
you.
appreciate
Thank
that.
you guys.
Thank you to all the veterans. We really, are thankful for your service and what you've done for protecting us that are not cut out for the military.
Yeah,
Yep.
Me.
And
yeah. Some of us were meant for podcasts.
Yeah.
And thank you so much. Have a beautiful day.
Yes.
Thank you, Wayne.
To
Thank
Mom
you,
the
guys.
Snow Manual. Subscribe, like, follow. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.